Hey, hi. All right. So in this chapter, we are going to talk about how language affects the body. And why is this so important? Well, because language was designed not just for communication. It was designed to create a way to control. And control can be good or bad depending on the intent. So, the some people have blocks for the word control. And and that I don't mean like violently control, but when you think about it, words do have power. So words do have a way of controlling not just how you think, but how you respond and how you act, right? So control can be good or bad depending on the intent. If you decide to entice fear, for example, that may be considered bad. And learning to control that fear might be considered good, right? But what if you're enticing fear over something dangerous? Well, that's not bad then, right? If you're teaching someone to stay away from a rattlesnake, right? You don't need to live in fear, but fear in itself is not always a negative. So although both perspectives of an individual will determine whether something's good or bad, neither is good or bad in and of itself. So there are words which help us to relax the body and which are used a lot in holistic pain management and words and using words that the mind considers calming has a very healing effect on the body. So let's say, for example, um, you know someone who gets headaches a few times a month. Let's say they get migraines, really, really bad migraines. Um, and well, I knew this girl, and she used to get these really bad headaches, and she always would use the phrases, "My boss is a pain in the neck. My kids are a pain. Oh my God, I can't take it anymore. You're giving me a headache." She would say phrases like that. And she would always complain about getting migraines a couple times a month. So when you use that kind of language, and that's your self talk, and you are literally telling your unconscious mind to create headaches, to create discomfort. If you're talking about always being in pain because of your environment, my boss is a pain, work is a pain, when then your unconscious mind is going to try to find a way to save you from that environment, right? So you kind of see the catch 22 there. When you're using phrases that you are in discomfort, the unconscious mind, whose number one job is to preserve the body, will try and get you out of that. So maybe it'll give you a headache, because if you have the headache, you stay home and then you don't have to deal with the boss that's a pain in the neck. Problem solved, right? Not really, because you want your work. But the unconscious mind does not know that. All it knows is that your boss is a pain in the neck. Everything gives you a headache. Your kids are driving you nuts. And you're saying this self talk to your unconscious mind that you want a headache, that something's a pain. You're creating pain for yourself. You're you're increasing the discomfort of the word pain. So you have to be really careful how you speak to yourself. Like right now, for example, just think of the word pain. Pain. What do you feel in your body when you say the word pain? Like I feel my body feels heavier. That's what I feel when I say the word pain. Think of when you say the word flow, comfort. Those words when I say them, I feel like my body lightens up a bit, like a little weight was taken off me. And because your body will physically react to everything you say. So this is how language affects your body. So when you're saying negative things, your body will look for solutions. And in the earlier example, that'll come in form of physical pain. So you're going to increase your discomfort with these words. So the more you say it over and over, the more you're going to create discomfort in your body, which eventually will create a disease. They say cancer is linked with worry. The more you worry and worry and worry, your physical body's going to create a cancer or some other illness. So you really have to be careful what you're telling your body. And you don't even realize a lot of times that your vocabulary is causing stress in your physical body. Now, here's another scenario. Let's kind of use the same scenario as the woman who always said, my boss is a pain, my work is a pain, and she gets migraines all the time. Let's change the language. Let's say that this person's getting headaches, but instead of referring to them as headaches, I mean, just think of the word ache itself. Ache. That's just as heavy as pain. They don't make you feel very good. Switch the word out to wave. Oh, I feel, instead of saying I have a headache, just say, oh, I have a wave going through my head. A wave. Because the unconscious mind thinks of words like that as something that comes and goes. So on an unconscious level, you're already telling your unconscious mind to release this. That this is a wave of pressure. This is a wave of discomfort. Because the word wave already refers, like, think of an ocean. They come and they go, the waves, they're back, they're forth. So it's going to go away. So your body's already thinking, oh, I'm going to release this. You're already giving it the command to release it. You can think of like somebody waving, bye-bye, it's gone, see you later, right? So just by changing how you perceive this migraine or your headache will actually determine how quickly your body will release this energy. Because that's basically all it is energy. Now, right, there are physical components to it that cause this, but the body in itself is created off energy. We're a full electrical system, so it's pretty amazing. So when you put it all together, the words you use are very, very powerful. And just close your eyes for a moment and think of the word migraine or pain. What kind of images come to you? Like, how does your body feel? And then do the same thing and close your eyes and say, wave, clear, flow, and see if your body, if you really, really hone into your body, pay attention. Do you notice? Does it lighten up? Does it relax? What words make it tighten? What words loosen it up? Really pay attention to how your body responds to different vocabulary. So by changing how you talk to yourself, really will change how you react. So think of the words that you say to yourself over and over and over. What kind of words do you say to yourself? When you're not feeling well, when something's bothering you, say phrases like, this will pass. This will pass. This will pass. I have the right to be sad right now, but this will pass. I have the right to be frustrated, but this will pass. Because an emotion is something you can let go of. When you hold on to that emotion day after day, year after year, that's when you have a lot of problems. That's when you create disease. That's when you create things like depression, right? That's that self-talk, that holding, holding that emotion in. You have to let things flow. You have to allow these emotions to flow. So instead of saying the word contraction, think of saying the word flow. Instead of saying the word pain, think of wave, something that you're releasing. Instead of saying the word anxious, say excited. Because when you're excited and you're anxious, you have the same physical response. It's just being anxious about something is more on the negative side. And it's going to create that worry that, can I do this? Am I good enough? When you're excited, you want to do it. You're excited, right? So change your vocabulary from anxious to excited. Instead of saying hurt, try discomfort. Try, something that'll make you laugh if it's not too seriously, like when you're a kid, oh, I got a boo-boo, that can be emotional too. You can have an emotional boo-boo. It's all right. You just don't want to hold on to that hurt. So give it a word which your body will release. And instead of saying words like, oh, I'm so depressed, say you're unclear. Most depression comes from not having a lot of clarity. You get depressed because you don't know which way to go. Right? When you really, really think about it, what causes you to feel depressed? You're unclear. You get depressed because something's not working out. Well, why is it not working out? Because you're unclear the steps to take to find that success. You're unclear how to get past a block. So just eliminate contraction, pain, anxiety, contraction, pain, anxious, could be anxiety too, hurt, depression. Take those out of your vocabulary and try using flow, wave, excited, discomfort, and unclear instead, and see how much better you feel. Take out a sheet of paper and write down a list of words that you notice you say often. Pay attention to how your body feels, and if it doesn't make your body feel good, think of a similar word that you could use, a more positive word for the same that you can replace that word with. So do that as an exercise. Think of words that can be reframed to relieve stress instead of cause stress in your life. And that's a really, really important thing that'll help you. By creating a habit of a more positive self-talk and a new way for your physical body to respond to stress is a really good way to relieve that stress and to allow your body to relieve whatever emotions it's been holding. Because when you have a negative emotion, your body will hold it. Like when you get stressed, your shoulders tense up, you're like this, right? Well, this eventually will start to hurt. You'll get a pinched nerve, it hurts your neck, you can't, you can only turn this far instead of that far, So you really have to learn how to work with your body, and your language, believe it or not, has a lot to do with it. And not all stress is caused by physical pain. Yet eventually, the responses you have will come through in a physical way. And most pain is created by emotion before it's ever manifested into the body. So emotions are connected to your thoughts. And the more you are aware of your emotions and your thoughts, then you can start changing the dialogue which accompanies these thoughts. And then you'll have a lot more control over the physical manifestation, as well as having more control over catching those emotions and dealing with them right then and there, so that you don't have to carry them around and so that you don't have to walk around not feeling well. Your thoughts will create an emotion which you'll have a reaction to, and that reaction may be directed inwards or outwards. So the goal is to control the reaction and decide how you want to respond. This response will be more appropriate and clear when you're making a logical decision instead of reacting to the old patterns and the old habits, which are negatively emotionally based. So changing your self-talk to a more positive phrase will cause you to remain calmer and to be able to think logically without all the emotional reaction. Because you do not want to react, you want to train yourself to respond. And this is very powerful information to have. And you can use this every moment of every day. Just change your inner dialogue. Change the dialogue you say to other people into something that actually makes you feel better. And that, again, will help with communication. It'll help you be able to communicate with other people in a much calmer and better way. I hope you enjoyed this chapter, and you'll find this very useful.